Hello.
Hi,
Uh,
how are you, Jaclyn?
I I am good. How are you?
I am doing well. Welcome to my conference room virtually.
Virtually, right? I have one as well, and I think I'm going to change it.
Awesome. I want to see what you have. I love this.
There we go.
Ooh, very beautiful. Let's keep our virtual offices up. This is so fun and exciting.
Oh, wonderful. I'm happy to do it.
You know what? It was such a joy and pleasure for you to accept this invitation, for me to shine some light on you about your beautiful, unique talent that you have as a wedding planner.
Thank you so much for allowing the opportunity. It's been absolutely lovely, and I'm really happy that we were able to connect and do this.
Oh, me too. You and I met because we both were invited to be on an industry related summit.
Yep.
And it was so much fun. I haven't seen the video or anything yet, but it was so much fun. The people were connecting and just getting along. And I felt like I had such a new surrounding of friends. And I was
Yeah.
like, I need to keep this going. Let me see how I can still be a fellow colleague in the industry in a different way. So it just so happens to be we were doing these programs, and I said, let me invite them, see who will be interested. And when you said yes, I was like, I would love
Yeah,
for people to.
it's absolutely wonderful that you're able to do this. And there were so many amazing perspectives that came out of that
Oh,
meeting, and to hear everybody's thoughts and to know that you're not in it alone and that you have similar feelings
yeah,
was really great. And I loved it for that reason.
I do too. And it's important for us to know that, yes, we're not in this alone, but there's plenty of business to be made out there. And we should be working together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's important that we understand in this industry that we're not only in this together, but there's so much business to be made out there. And I think we touched on this too in that summit, that everyone's specialty is unique. Everyone's style is unique. Sometimes we get hired simply because people like us and they connect with us and relate to us. And it's better for us to work collectively so that we can refer our overflow over to someone that we trust to take care of them and offer them what we would have given them, and that is quality service and the outcome they're looking for. And sometimes it's good for us to collaborate because whatever we have our strengths and our not so, I don't like to call them weakness, but not so great strengths. And collaborating with someone who can fill in that spot is only beneficial to both brands and stuff. So, I would like to see us go more in that direction in this industry because my company does weddings too, but we don't focus on it. We focus on the corporate side of things more than we do on the weddings. And being able to collaborate with people like yourself is a win-win situation, but the benefit is due to the client.
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember one of the biggest things I tell others that I'm working with is that you're not my competition, because we are each our own unique individual and we're going to get hired based on that.
Yep.
So it would behoove you to make sure that you choose a really great personality that you love and that connects with people versus trying to copy other work or like that, because we don't have to compete. There is, like you said, there is so much business out there. We're fully booked for 2021 season.
Wow. Good for you.
So yeah, so I just feel like I'd rather be able to refer you than go to a person and say they have a crappy attitude about community over competition.
Right.
So I'm a proponent for making sure that we all collaborate and we get to know each other and we can refer each other and bring additional income because of that.
Yeah, it's an opportunity of having a great support system for us too, because
Yeah.
we can collaborate with one another even when it comes down to the challenges as entrepreneurs and business owners. What are your challenges with this, whether it's pertaining to the operation, whether it's pertaining to the challenges of dealing with some challenging clients, or whether it's pertaining to design. Hey, Jaclyn, I got a client that's looking to do XYZ. I recall you doing something similar to that. Any tips and advice on how we can execute this the right way? Those things are what should be among us instead of cutthroat, and looking at it as posing as a threat or something like that. Now, with that being said, Jaclyn, let us talk about who you are and what you do, your business. And I want to share some of your work as you describe to everybody who you are and your services.
Sure.
So go ahead, fire away.
My name is Jackie Watson. I am the principal planner and lead designer of Jaclyn Watson Events. I've been in this for well over 10 years. There are many times where I am exhausted and tired and wonder if I should do this. But at the end of the day, it comes back to always having the same answer. And that's yes, because I love love and I love being able to celebrate other people's stories. And moreover, the reason that I am a planner and I am a designer is that I get to tell the journey to all their family, to all their friends. And then that journey is remembered, so those guests get to walk away with such an exceptional experience that they want to repeat it over and over with all their other friends. So that's who I am in a nutshell. I absolutely love what I do. I've grown up in the performing arts industry, so going into the planning industry, into the wedding industry was a really natural fit for me. And I've really enjoyed all the aspects and the networking and meeting new people and working with so many incredibly talented individuals that it's an amazing industry that I hope will only grow.
Awesome. Yeah, you have done and do some pretty impeccable work. And I wanted to be able to share. I'm sorry I was fidgeting or moving around because I am blind as a bat. And
no worries.
And I was trying to avoid for putting my glasses on because of my long lashes.
Oh, you have to wear those glasses. I love those glasses.
Yeah, you guys were making comments about it when we did the summit. And I'm like, I'm throwing them in for a new pair, changing them up. And it's so funny, Jaclyn, because here I just don't like these glasses anymore. And I'm thinking about changing them up. And I'm getting more and more compliments on these glasses than I ever have before. I was like, this is so weird. But yeah, I wanted to be able to keep an eye on my time at the same time, try to get the slides going. I was like, I suck at this.
Well, this whole new virtual world is very, very different. We actually did our first wedding where not virtually, where we Zoomed it for everybody that couldn't come. And it was such a great experience because we had over 400 people on the Zoom.
What? 400?
400 people. They invited family and friends. And one of the biggest things that has come out of this whole COVID situation is that because they can't have the weddings with the amount of people that they wanted, they're actually able to invite via Zoom or via virtually an entire whole new slew of people. And that's giving them such a great experience because people they never thought they'd be able to have, they're now have, and they're now able to participate in some manner.
Wow, that is awesome. That is awesome. And how are you seeing yourself doing what type of events? Let me put it that way. What type of weddings are you putting together besides, in addition to the Zoom version of those?
Yeah, so we actually have done this year 3 weddings in person. We just had our biggest wedding of 100 people,
Uh-huh.
and it was a beautifully well done, executed event. Um, it was on a lakeside property, so, and we had lighting and draping. We had every single element that we would for any other normal wedding that we have done,
Uh-huh.
except safe wedding, and we had pods and people wore masks when they danced. So we felt really good about that. So this year, most of our clients did. Most of our clients, and I'm losing my voice because of this wedding, just so you know.
Were you screaming and yelling, put your mask on?
I know, right? So my voice, after every wedding, after every season, I get laryngitis for about a week because I talk so much.
Right.
But this year our season is done. We've had 3 events successfully. And then next year we'll end up doing probably 10 postponements and then 7 new clients.
Oh, wow. Nice. That's awesome. Now, what do you find was the greatest challenge and expectations for your clients when it came down to doing these weddings during COVID-19?
I think the greatest challenge was making sure that we were safe, going into it with expectations of all the guests,
Right.
and being able to say to them, we are putting our trust in you, that you're coming safe, that you have quarantined, or that you have taken a test, or that you're doing everything you can to make
Right.
sure that the wedding is safe. So I think that was a really big challenge, because unfortunately, in the world that we live in today,
Mm-hmm.
people aren't going to be honest, and we don't expect it. We understand it. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that just kind of setting those expectations up was the hardest, because
Right.
this is all new to us. We've not done weddings in COVID. We're learning as we go.
Yeah,
Um, so just trying to figure out that, and it's so much more work. I cannot even express to you. It
it
is
is.
it is triple the amount of work to do
It,
a wedding in this
oh,
period, right?
I can only imagine, Jaclyn, because I haven't done any weddings in the beginning of summer. I'm sorry, in the beginning of this breakout, obviously, because there were people who were frantic about, I got my wedding and I have to have it. It has to go, move on no matter what. And then there were other people that was on the other side of the spectrum. But it's very different. And that's not just with the wedding industry, that's in events in general. A lot of people feel as though, oh, it's just virtual, you're cutting out a whole lot of the work. No, the work volume is still the same, if not greater, just a different approach.
Yep.
And it's because it's all new to us. Everything that we're experiencing is new to us, and we have to look out for the safety of everyone. And we have to be more creative in other aspects of executing the outcome that the client is looking for, in spite of the challenge of this virus. So it is a lot of work. I was talking to someone, one of the things that we offer. So let me tell you about the 3 programs we got going on so that you can understand where I'm coming from. So we're trying to give back to the business community and showing our support. This expert interview is one of the ways that we're doing it. We're also allowing any expert in their field, whether you're self-employed or not, to take advantage of our virtual services for free as well. So we give you a very mini version of what that services will look like if you were a paying client. And we treat you no different than a paying client, except for you don't get all the bells and whistles from us. And the purpose behind it is to, one, give back to the community so that you can know what your options are other than Zoom, and know that there are proper tools and platforms out there for you and your business needs and stuff. And every single system has its purpose, hence Zoom. We're on Zoom right now for this chit chat. But it's to properly educate people what's out there for them, and then give them that little push that they need in the right direction. If they turn around and hire us in the long run, kudos to us. If they don't, they still got the materials and the knowledge and the experience that they needed for their business needs. So I had someone that I was talking to just this week, and she said, help me understand, what am I getting? And in my mind, I'm going, what do you mean? You get everything you would get in an in-person planning services and more. It's just done virtually. I have to sit down and help you design the program. I have to design the event itself on that platform. You know, I have to make that platform look inviting to you, just like I would if I was doing all the marketing material for the in-person event. I have to send out the invites and help you put together your sponsorship packages and your packages for your exhibitors and stuff like that. Whatever it would have entailed for me to do for the in-person event needs is the same thing, but slightly different because it's just virtual opposed to being in person. So, you know, you can't blame people for not understanding. It's just that they just don't know how much work is still involved in planning these events in our industry, in our world.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's not as simple as, oh, let me send you a Zoom link. Boop, here we are.
And I think that's the hardest thing, because I'm a leader in our industry, especially up here. Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably been the hardest challenge is to look at people and say, I get it. I get that you want to bunker down, not do anything and just forget this year, but we're in a situation where it's either we evolve and we grow and we learn from it, or we fall behind. And I don't know about you, but I am not falling behind.
I know that's right, Jaclyn. I agree. I actually took this. Now, grant you, there were several different emotions I went through on the outbreak, and some of them, and it's not necessarily in this order, but there were times where I was terrified, and I was like, oh my God, I was terrified for the best interests of my company, obviously, making sure it's going to survive. And then I was terrified for the well-being of my employees. How can I maintain their interests and stability for their own family needs? You know, making sure they have money, they're getting paid and stuff like that. But that means I got to keep business coming in. I got to figure out how to bring that business in, or how to keep what business we had moving along and not coming to a halt. And it's difficult because COVID-19 was something totally new. But we've been through this in our industries. There's been times where we had travel bans due to wars happening, where it impacted experts like us to travel for our clients' needs. If you had a destination wedding that you had to do, it's your obligation to know how to work around any challenges that come your way that is due to weather conditions, travel ban conditions, war situations where certain areas is not safe for people, and you got to make sure that the safety of those people are coming back into the US. So there's so much that we have endured and experienced as experts in this field, that it wasn't nothing different with COVID. It's just that COVID was a different situation.
It was a different situation. And I so agree with that. And it's funny that you say that, because that's kind of how I approached this. When it happened, I remember hearing and seeing so many people just feel like it was done. There wasn't going to be anything left, and to give up. And for me, and it's something I ask people that I work with in my mentoring is, do you want to succeed or do you want to fail? Yeah. And if you want to succeed, you're going to do whatever you need to do that. And this is just another obstacle that we have to conquer. And it's a great challenge. And that's how I'm going to look at it. I'm going to put that positivity on it, even though, you know, it is a struggle, but you
Right.
know what? With struggle comes success. With struggle comes a championship. With struggle comes award.
That's right.
And if you take the time and the initiative to fully understand what's happening and say, all right, I am not going to let this run me. I am going to run it,
Right.
and figure out all the things that you need to do, and then you move forward. And it's a phenomenal growing experience.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. It's like you said, it's all about perspective. How are you looking at this? Are you looking at it as a challenge and maybe an opportunity? Because
Yep.
that was the other thing that went through my mind. I said, oh my God, there's great opportunity here for us.
Yep.
Because I knew that there were going to be so many people that's going to feel the way you were just expressing, that they're going to feel like they want to give up and just lay down and do nothing and wait for it to blow over or hope that it blows over. And I said, while they're doing that, this would be a great opportunity for our brand to get more exposure.
Exactly.
And
That's
to
exactly
leverage off of it.
Yep, that's exactly right. And that's how I looked at it as well. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get myself out there. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks, because I'm putting myself out there to make sure that my company stays viable and alive. And so that I can support my employees and I don't have to lay them off. So whatever I have to do in order to make that happen, I'm willing to do.
That's right. And I started hearing little things on LinkedIn, how this company, and these were all industry related for you and I, this company shut down. When I heard Cirque du Soleil, I'm like, oh no, Cirque du Soleil, no, I love them. If they have failed, then what's left? So I was like, that's okay. I'm going to keep on trailing along.
Yeah, absolutely. Just got to keep pushing.
Yeah. Oh my God. I had so much talking to you. Would you be willing to come back? Because I feel as though there's so much that we can talk about towards weddings and COVID, and that people can learn from things that we can share and talk about between you and between me and you as gals talking in the industry. And maybe some of the things that we touch on will let people know, okay, I can still plan my wedding. I can still move along. It may not be the way I originally intended to be, but it's still going to be my wedding, and it's going to be unique and different.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
I would love to have you back. Okay, so here's the fun part. I always do a fun fact with everyone.
Okay.
Now, clearly, because you're an expert of design and elegance in the design, what's your most, first of all, there's a two-part question. Does that pour over into your personal life? Like, do you focus on designing for holidays and stuff like that, and hosting parties for your own personal needs? That's question number one. Part two of question number one. If you do, what is your favorite party to host? Is it a holiday or something else, and why?
So I think this is going to shock most people, and I'm not sure why.
It may not shock me, believe it or not.
I actually do not carry my design over into my home at all, or any. I'm quite messy at my home. Like my husband gets so upset with me. He's like, I don't get it. I see the weddings you designed, but you just left a dish in the sink. And I'm like, well, here's the thing. This is why I do it. I need a little chaos in my own life, in my own home, because out there is no chaos, and it is very hardcore. This is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it.
That's right.
It is very detailed. So when I get home, I need that comfy cozy. If I can just stay in my pajamas all day, I will absolutely do that. So no, I don't have a huge design factor in my home. I have a very lovely, cozy, warm house with 3 beagles that never stop running. But I think that one of my favorite parties, and I am a party thrower. I absolutely love doing that. I love cooking. Cooking is my creative outlet beyond weddings, because it's so comforting for me, and personally, I'm originally from the South, so I cook for armies. So I think my favorite holiday would have to be Thanksgiving, and or Christmas, because I do the decor. Like I get special tablecloths, I have special dishes,
Right.
so things like that. But I went all out this year for fall too. Like we did pumpkins, and I just carved a bunch of them. So that's the type of person I am.
I should have taken a picture of what the outside of my house looked like for the decoration I did for Halloween. I'll share that on the next get together we have. But you know what? That's not surprising at all, because I've been in the industry for nearly almost 30 years. And my specialty and forte is, yes, I'm a designer and in the event industry, but I am really a master at strategic planning, which is why we target corporations and businesses and stuff like that for their needs. And I am the master of fundraising. I will get you 70% increase in what you're looking for, blah, blah, blah. And in my personal life, when it comes down to traveling, group travels, vacations and stuff, and everybody goes, what should we do? When should we do that? And they try to put together a program on what we do, the activities and events throughout the whole week of the vacation or the 2 weeks duration of the vacation. And I sit back very quietly and say, oh, what are you guys thinking? Okay, I want to chime in. I don't want to plan. I don't want nothing to do with planning at all in my personal life. And there are times where you can't avoid it. So when I host parties at my house, yes, I have to plan it out, because I'm planning out from the perspective of hosting guests at my home. But my friends look at it and criticize me, like, oh, you know, we don't need you to be an expert in this area. You know, this is just us coming to your house. I'm like, but you're a guest in my home, because my family is from the South too. My family is very Southern, and we just take pride in hosting people at our home, the way we do it. But other than that, I really don't want nothing to do with what I get paid to do 9 to 5. I have a passion for what I do 9 to 5, but because I do it so much and I live by it as an employment, I don't want nothing to do with it when it comes to my personal life. You guys plan it, and I'll just come. I'll do whatever you want me to do.
We'll just show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're the same way. It's funny though, because if you, my husband doesn't like taking me to restaurants at all, because when we do a gathering at a restaurant, so if we're outside my home, I'm very much that designer. I'm very much that timekeeper. I'm very much that logistical planner. So like if we're sitting at a restaurant table and the napkins aren't folded right, or there's like a smudge on the glassware, I'm telling the waiter, we need to fix this right now, because I cannot sit here. So.
No, you're horrible. Okay, so here's something funny. Another thing that we have in common. I put myself through college by working all these gazillion jobs in sales, retail sales. And still to this day, I walk into a store, and if I see racks out of place, I straighten them up.
Yes, that's exactly right. I am the same way.
So I go shopping with friends, and I can be talking, and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Especially if I like you and enjoy your company, you can't get me to shut up. So I'm like, yeah, Jaclyn. And then she had the nerve to say, and I'm fixing the shoes, I'm fixing the racks, and I'm refolding things and putting it back. And I'm not missing a beat in the conversation.
Yeah, we're very unique. I will say that. My poor husband goes through a lot with me because of it.
Oh my God, Jaclyn.
It's really good. It truly is. I think at the end of the day that planners and designers are probably one of the uniquest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
Because we are so artistic and creative, and we have our we have our pet peeves,
Yeah.
and people know them very well. So.
Yes, we do. But what's even great about that is we have that third eye.
Yeah.
We have a natural ability to foresee a design and bring it to life. And people can't always see what it is that we see in our head, even if we do a mood board, even if we do
Yeah.
a layout or design, however the approach is for that person. When you have that natural skill set of a designer that is hard to describe, is even more miraculous for people to see what we had in here come out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's rewarding for me, you know, because what's rewarding for me is the smile on people's face to say, oh my God, you've exceeded our expectations. That's why I do what I do.
Absolutely. And we're the same way. We actually, it's the first thing that we tell clients that come with us is that we don't want to be your typical planner. We want to go above and beyond. And we want you to walk away saying that you never even expected what you just got. And we've been very, very blessed and lucky that all of our clients have said that to date. And it just melts my heart every time, because that's exactly why I'm in it, because I want to bring that joy and that creativeness. And I think, you know, to go back to what you were saying, that some people can't see our vision. We go through that with certain couples, you know, because they don't know what they want. And when they instill all their trust in you and just say, do what you do best,
right,
you can become so much more creative and showing them something that they didn't even know they knew they wanted. And that's another part of the job that I really, really love.
Oh, that's awesome. Jaclyn, I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity. Definitely would love to have you back, because there's so much that we can talk about that can open people's eyes up in the wedding industry. And again, like I said, allow them to know it's okay to go ahead and make these plans for our wedding during this pandemic and see what the future brings us. It's okay.
Yeah,
you just have to think outside the box. Sit tight, don't go anywhere, okay?